What do you think? You think that's possible? Do you think it's possible for YouTube to let me stay connected for more than 5 minutes? What do you guys put it down in the comments below if you think it's possible? And on the last video, make sure you go back and comment and tell me what your favorite food is. And then on the video previous to that, tell me what you think I'm either doing right or wrong with the way I made my spaghetti sauce. So if you didn't watch it, go back, watch the very first video. That will show you how I did my spaghetti sauce. And then the video after that, you will see me eating said spaghetti sauce. And then this video, I don't know, man. I don't have anything prepared to talk about. I'm cleaning the table right now, so I'm in the other room cleaning up after where I ate. The room with the cranes, the birds. So I'll get that done and I'll come back over there and chat with you guys until my wife and kids get back, which who knows when they're gonna get back, man. I don't even know what they're up to. They said they were gonna go walk a dog with their cousin, but then one thing led to another, and I think they're out having a little party time. What do you think of that? Oh, that's all right. They're out having their party time, and I'm here having my party time. So that's fair enough, huh? Anybody out there in Happy Land? Let me check. Nope, doesn't look like it is. All right, guys, I'm gonna have myself a cigarette and then I'm gonna call it a night. What do you think about that? Is that okay with you? If anybody disagrees with that, they can take it up with the boss, who isn't here right now. So um, we'll just call it what it is. We'll roll with the punches. All right, y'all good looking, sexy people out in Happy Land. I hope you are well. I gotta make sure I keep the lighting good. Otherwise, my mom's gonna think I'm dying. She's like, Frank, you got dark circles under your eyes. Are you getting enough sleep? I'm like, fuck no, I'm not getting enough sleep. What do you think? It's the drudgery of the lockdown, man. It doesn't matter how much you sleep. I sleep all the time. It's exhausting. So that's what I look like at full light. That's some horror show shit right there, huh? That's okay. And then see, you put it above, and then you get shadows under your eyes. So if I put it this way, I don't have any good lighting, but what are you gonna do? I'll do it this way. I'll just not fucking worry about it. How's that? I'll just not worry about it. How's that? Huh? Is that okay with you? I'll turn that one down too. I think the less lighting, the better when you're my age. Is there anybody in there? All right, guys. So we're just doing some updates, general updatey stuff. Had some spaghetti, feeling pretty good. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to me. I am the father. Happy Father's Day to our Father in the sky, that big old white guy in the sky. Um, if you like white guys in the sky, if not, you could have a black guy in the sky or a Chinese guy, whatever you like. They're all the same. It's all interpreted through your own filters. It doesn't really matter. Stay well. Don't let the lockdownerism get you down. Are you guys under lockdown where you're at? Yeah, that's a good one. Don't worry, be happy. Good to see you again, Nunu. How have you been, man? Anything new happening with you out there in Happy Land? I don't know if you know or not, Nunu, but I've got a backup channel that I have been live streaming from as well. My backup channel is Lunar Light Entertainment. So make sure you look it up here on YouTube and add me. I've got a picture of me in one of my old dance classes that I was hanging out with as the banner in the back. And then I think I have a different picture for my headshot. It's kind of a covert thing. I go by the name Francis over there. No, no lockdowns where you're at. That's good. I forget where you are. It seems like you're somewhere in the States, maybe Michigan. Is that right? Did I remember that correctly? Are you in Michigan? I like to know where people are hailing in from and what they're up to. Idaho, North Idaho. So, what is in North Idaho that's of interest? They've got the Idaho potato, right? Um, and why do you guys go with North? Is Idaho big enough to have a North and a South? Idaho. That's like the two hookers that were hanging out on the Greyhound, and one of the hookers said, "I's from Idaho," and the other hooker said, "Well, that's just dandy. I's a Texas hoe." Idaho is a northwestern U.S. state known for mountainous landscapes and vast swaths of protected wilderness and outdoor recreation areas. It finds itself between Washington, Montana, Wyoming, and Oregon. Wow, that's a nice piece of land you're on. And if you're in the northern part, wow, you're really in the wilderness, huh? Capital is Boise, and many lakes too, huh? Interesting. The governor is not worth mentioning, I'm sure. You guys got a good governor? Do you like your governor? Not that it really matters, right? That's a damn fine piece of land, though, right there. It's got a narrow tip on it. Um, why did they give me all this political shit? Like the first things up on the wiki page here or the Google upload is like it's got the capital, then the governor. Like, what do I care about the governor? How is he of any importance? And then the senators, and then colleges and universities, and then something that's actually important. Okay, good. Maybe I'll consider moving there one day. Idaho is one of the coldest regions in the United States with an average daily high temperature of only 15 degrees centigrade. The climate is very changeable and offers varied seasons with deep winters and warm summers. The number of hours of sunshine refers to the time when the sun is actually visible. Let's check out the cost of living. Cost of living, yeah, about 55 degrees now, huh? Idaho's 94.4%. It's in the top 100%. Medium home cost is around $400,000, so it's not cheap for a median home cost. Points of interest include Craters of the Moon National Park, Schweizerland. You guys got a Schweitzer Mountain or something? Shoshone Falls Park and Bogus Basin. Let's find out a little more. It's got a very small portion on the Canadian border. So you're out in Sasquatch territory, definitely. I can imagine, man. It looks like a good place to live. Definitely. Yep, Sasquatch land for sure. Did you see the latest Squatch video that came out? Somebody filmed a Squatch video and it looks pretty legit. And I think it was in your area, man. You guys share a small Canadian border with the province of British Columbia. So I bet you get some good weed up in there, man, some good cannabis. It borders Montana, Wyoming, Nevada, Utah, and Washington, and Oregon to the west. State's capital is Boise. It's got an area of uh, 83,000 square miles. Idaho is the 11th largest state by land area, but has population of only approximately 1.8 million. You know, there's like 2.5 million in the count in the suburb I'm in here in Beijing. This Beijing has about 25 million people, and there's 2 million just right here in my little backyard. It's the seventh least densely populated of the 50 states. For thousands of years, come on, I'm not going to believe any of that. Like they know what's been going on there for thousands. And we lost connection. Industries significant for the state include manufacturing, agriculture, mining, forestry, and tourism. A number of science and technology firms are headquartered in Idaho, including Idaho National Laboratory, Department of Energy. It's best known for its potato crop, which comprises 1/3 of the nationwide yield. The official nickname of the state is the Gem State. The Great Seal of the state of Idaho looks pretty cool. It's got a girl on it and a guy. It's got some sort of mountaineer type dude, and then maybe Columbia, goddess of the cosmos. Living insignias are the tiger salamander. That's good. That's good. I like to hear that. The mountain bluebird. The raptor is the peregrine falcon. Wow, that's pretty cool. Your guys' state bird is the peregrine falcon. That's the fastest animal on Earth. It has a dive speed of something like 220 miles per hour. That's a beautiful falcon, man. The fish is the cutthroat trout. The cutthroat trout. The flower is the syringa. The horse breed is the Appaloosa, also a beautiful horse. Oh, and your guys' insect is the monarch butterfly, huh? Maybe that's where they started their first Operation Monarch. Maybe that's where they planned it. The tree is the western white pine. The dance is the square dance. Good. I'd fit right in Idaho, man. I love the square dance. The state fruit is the huckleberry. I'm your huckleberry, right? And the state food is the potato. Potato. The gemstone is the star garnet. State route number 75. Wow, that sounds like the perfect state for me, man. The name's origin of Idaho is a mystery. In the early 1860s, the U.S. Congress was considering organizing a new territory in the Rocky Mountains. The name Idaho was suggested by George M. Willing, a politician posing as an unrecognized delegate from the unofficial Jefferson Territory. Willing claimed that the name was derived from a Shoshone term. The sun comes from the mountains, or gem of the mountains. So it's an Indian name, like many of the U.S. states are Indian names. The Shoshones are Udo-Aztecan family, spoken in the western United States. So you're not super far from that valley of paranormal and metaphysical activity. Uh, those are the same Indians that the Shoshone. They're the same Indians that used to do the skinwalker type things. They're shapeshifters. They know how to shapeshift. The same year Congress created the Colorado Territory, a county called Idaho County was created in Washington Territory. The county was named after a steamship named the Idaho, which was launched in the Columbia River in 1860. It's unclear whether or not the steamship was named before or after the state of Idaho. Yeah, definitely. That's a good place to be. It says humans have been present in Idaho as long as 15,000 years approximately, with Native American Indian peoples predominant in the area, the Nez Perce of the north, and the Shoshone in the south. An early presence of French Canadian trappers is visible in names of some of the states, such as the Nez Perce, the Coeur d'Alene, Boise, and Payette. Some pre existing Lewis and Clark expeditions, which themselves included significant numbers of French and Metis guides recruited for the familiarity with the terrain. The creation of the Idaho Territory was on the 4th of March, 1863. By far the most important river in the Idaho Territory is the Snake River, a major tributary of the Columbia River. The Snake River flows out from Yellowstone and into northwestern Wyoming through the Snake River Plain. I've got a sister living in the Denver area, Fort Collins. I've been considering this area for strategic relocation since I was a teenager. I always knew that Colorado and Idaho, I didn't know much about Idaho, but I always focused on northern Colorado or even maybe Colorado Springs. I knew that that would be the place to strategically relocate to. So the Great Seal of Idaho, um, it has justice on the seal. I've heard that Denver's nice. My sister lives right outside of Denver, uh, Fort Collins. It doesn't even say what all of the elements of the seal are. Why doesn't it say it here? What a, and then it's got like a bunch of Arabic underneath. How weird. I don't know why it doesn't explain the seal to me. Maybe I actually have to go to the yeah, to the state website to get the explanation. It's a lovely seal though. Um, the seal for Idaho, Idaho the only is Idaho has the only great seal designed by a woman. That's an interesting factoid. Um, Idaho became a state on July 3rd, 1890. So the Idaho Territory was annexed in 1860, but it didn't become a state until 3 months later, right? A talented young woman came to the state capital in Boise to visit relatives. Her name was Emma Sarah Etienne Edwards. Later married a mining man named James G. Green. She was the daughter of John C. Edwards, a former governor of Missouri, who had emigrated to Stockton, California, where he acquired large land holdings. A beautiful French Creole wife, Emma Catherine Richards, and became Mayor Stockton in about that order. Emma, the eldest daughter of a family of 8, was exceptionally well educated for a woman of that time and dropped into Boise. It was on her way home from a year spent at art school in New York. However, what was to be a very short visit turned into a lifelong stay, for she fell in love with the charming city of Boise, Idaho, and its people and open art classes where the young pioneers of the community learned to paint. Shortly after her art classes started, she was invited to enter a design contest for the Great Steel of the state of Idaho. Nice. So that's how you guys got Boise, huh? Artists from all over the country entered the competition, but the unanimous winner was young Emma Edwards, who became the first and only woman to design a great steel of any state in the U.S. She was handed the honorarium by Governor Norman B. Wiley on the March 5th, 1891. The state flag also carries the seal centered on a deep blue background. Emma Edwards had no children of her own, but assisted in rearing a nephew. Description of the seal. Here's what I was looking for. I had to go through all that horse shit to get to what I was looking for. And it still doesn't just tell me what I want to see. Wow, it's quite a lengthy explanation. The question of women's suffrage was being agitated somewhat, and as leading men and politicians agreed that Idaho would eventually give women the right to vote, and as mining was the chief industry, the mining man the largest financial factor of the state at the time, I made the figure of the man the most prominent in the design, while that of the woman signifying justice, as noted by the scales, liberty, as denoted by the liberty cap on the end of the spear, and equality with a man, as denoted by her position at his side, also signifies freedom. The pick and shovel held by the miner, and the ledge of rock beside which he stands, as well as the pieces of ore scattered about his feet, all indicate the chief occupation of the state. The stamp mill in the distance, which you can see only by using a magnifying glass, is also typical of the mining interests of Idaho. Looks like it. The shield between the man and the woman is emblematic of the protection they unite in giving the state. The large fir or pine tree in the foreground in the shield refers to Idaho's immense timber interests. The husbandman plowing on the left side of the shield, together with the sheaf of grain beneath the shield, are emblematic of Idaho's agricultural resources, while the cornucopias, the horns of plenty, refer to the horticulture. Idaho has a game law which protects the elk and moose. The elk's head therefore rises above the shield. The state flower, the wild syringa or mock orange, grows at the woman's feet, while the ripened wheat grows as high as her shoulder. The star signifies a new light in the galaxy of states. The river depicted in the shield is our mighty Snake River, or Shoshone River, a stream of great majesty. Yeah, that's lovely. She did a good job on this, man. That's got quite a bit. So it's got the woman, and she represents freedom and liberty because she's got the spear of Athena and then the cap of liberty on it, which was actually I believe that's a wizard's cap. And then she's holding the scales to represent justice. And then we've got a Boy Scout style miner with a nice handkerchief, red handkerchief around his neck. And he's got a pick, a mining pick, and a spade style shovel. There are two cornucopias right up front in the foreground. There's wheat growing to the left, rising as high as her shoulder. And then there's dried wheat in the foreground, dead center. Then the elk's head rising above the shield. On the shield, you've got some mountains, the Snake River, and a plowman using what looks to be probably an Appaloosa. And then it's got a fir. I don't see the flowers, though. It says it grows at her feet and can only be viewed with a microscope. I don't see it, though. Huh. Oh, I see them. The flowers are growing over the wheat, I think. That's the state flower. Nice. Very lovely seal. Let me finish off the article, though. There's one paragraph left. In regard to the coloring of the emblems used in the making of the Great Seal of the state of Idaho, my principal desire was to use such colors as would typify pure Americanism and the history of the state. As Idaho was a virgin state, I robbed my goddess in white and made the liberty cap on the end of the spear the same color. Oh, I robed my goddess in white. In representing the miner, I gave him a garb of the period suggested by such mining authorities as former United States Senator George Shoup of Idaho, former Governor Norman B. Wiley, and former Governor James H. Hawley of Idaho, and other mining men and early residents of the state who knew intimately the usual garb of the miner. Almost unanimously, they said, do not put the miner in a red shirt. Make the shirt a grayish brown. The light of the mountains is typified by the rosy glow which precedes the sunrise. So his handkerchief is red, but his shirt is supposed to be grayish brown. In 1957, the 34 sessions of Idaho legislature authorized the updating and improvement of the Great Seal in order to more clearly define Idaho's main industries, mining, agriculture, and forestry, as well as highlighted the state's natural beauty. Yeah, that's quite lovely, and a nice little story there too. Um, who knows the veracity of it, but there it is. Um, no official record remains of the adoption of the first Great Seal of Idaho when it became a territory in 1863. But the governor was not satisfied with the original seal. But it says esto perpetua. Okay, so something in perpetuity. What is esto? Oh, really? Yeah, the lumberjacks, but not the miners, huh? Yeah, the lumberjacks. I could see them in a plaid, red and dark shirt. What did you say? Red and lumberjacks tended to wear red plaid shirts. Yeah, that's classic, huh? That's a very typical lumberjack uh, imagery, iconic imagery of the lumberjack. Um, what is esto? ESTO? No guess. Esteem? Esto per perpetua. I know perpetua is in perpetuity, right? So forever, for forever. But what does esto mean? What is the logo of the state? The motto. I think that's called the motto. Um, Esto perpetua. Perpetua. Let me check. Esto perpetua is Latin for let it be perpetual. I think that's what it just said. My computer just suddenly went black. Here we go. So let it be perpetual. Yeah. Or let it remain forever, right? So there you go. That's Idaho, man. Good deal. I'll try to remember that next time I talk to you. I like it. It looks like a good place to live, man. I envy you being stuck here. I wanted to come to Beijing, though. I wanted to learn Chinese, and I got my wish. So here I am. And when I came over here, they asked me, "How long do you plan on staying?" I said, "I don't know. I'm 30, so I was in the U.S. for 30 years. Why don't I spend 30 years here?" And that was my intention when I came over here. But 20, I think, is already goddamn long enough. It's been longer than 20 now. It's going on 22 years. 22 years. So I probably shouldn't have said 30 because the universe heard me. And it's like, oh, you want to stay here 30 years, huh? We'll give you exactly 30, a life sentence. That's a life, that's almost two life sentences, right? That's a life and a half. Um, yeah, I never really, like, I'm from California and, like, I don't know, we're raised to not really learn much about the rest of the United States. Californians, for some fucking reason, think that theirs is the only state in the union and the only one of any relevance, which is absolute horseshit. It's one of the worst states in the union now. It used to be one of the most beautiful. I mean, my father was a Navy man, so it was a natural fit. Um, he was born in New York, but he was in the Navy for 20 years, so he was stationed out of Long Beach. So that's where I was born and raised. But it took me leaving there, my early 20s, then to high school. Right after high school, I had to leave and go to Tennessee and Boston and Alabama and other places to figure out that there's an entire great nation, and California is least among it in a lot of ways. because their policies are so regressive, and they're just so decadent. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah half of the time. And Californians, for the most part, they're not really great people anymore. I mean, when I was a kid, I think we were. I think we were better people. And I think the Californians from the 1950s, like the sailors who came out of World War II and settled that whole area originally, they were great men and they were the greatest generation, right? But then everything after that, constant immigration from south of the border, constant immigration from Asia, Vietnam, every place the U.S. goes to war with, they they take tons of refugees from that country. It's like they go in and they bomb a country, and then they let tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people from the country they just attacked immigrate into your neighborhood. How does that make for a fucking rational, logical policy? Yeah, California back in the day was awesome, but no, not anymore, man. Now it's like all the soldiers who fought in all the Navy guys and Army guys and stuff that fought and defended, supposedly defending freedom and spreading liberty worldwide. You know, that's they make up 90% of the homeless people on the streets in LA, San Francisco. All the towns are covered in shit, and they're letting drugs flood in there and destroy these people. It's just it makes no logical sense whatsoever. If there was any form of decent leadership in government, stuff like that just wouldn't be allowed to happen. But we've got like we've got criminals in government. Whew, very depressing. Anyway, it's sad to see. Um, just keep fighting the good fight though. Fuck them. Let them do their own goddamn thing, and then we'll just do what we do. Right? Many denominations. The preceding denomination of Idaho is Christian. Evangelical Protestant makes up 22%. Mainline Protestant, Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, Latter-day Saints, Idaho Temple, the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints. Wow, beautiful temple. Why do the Latter-day Saints always end up with the most beautiful temples? Unaffiliated, Jehovah's Witness only make up 1%, so they're not going to be taking the long walk that would be required to knock on your door, huh? You've got very few Muslims, very few Jews, very few Buddhists. Um, and it says other faiths, New Age, Native American is non-existent. And it looks like 81% chose on the census to declare what faith they are. The largest denomination is the Church of Latter-day Saints, with nearly 500,000 members. So half your population is Mormon, or a third of the population of Idaho is Mormon. That's good. I like that. Do they still practice polygamy? Can I move to Idaho, become a Mormon, and marry multiple wives? If so, I'm packing my fucking bag today, man. I'm headed your way. Um, I want to know the demographics. Where are the demographics? Yeah, here they are. According to the 2020 census, white account for non-Hispanic whites account for 77% of the population. And up until 2015, it was 94%. It was 94% white until 2015. Now, by 2020, it's only 76% white. What happened in the 5 or 6 years to change that? And let me tell you where the main change has been. Hispanics. Your population of Hispanics has displaced 20% of the whites in your population. You see how fast it's happening? You see? And that 2015, 2016, that was all Obama and Trump, right? That is, that's the border policy, man. They're flooding your guys' state just like they're flooding any other state. Not, I'm not. Good God, man. And they say that white replacement theory is just a theory. Yeah, no, it's a fact. It's a fact. That's South Idaho there, huh? Yeah, that's where they're sending them, man. Yeah, they won't be able to make it up into North Idaho. They don't. I mean, imagine those Aztec and Mayan pyramid dwellers that are like right on the equator, and you know they're always engaged in hot bathing weather, and drinking tequila. How would they survive up there with the Bigfoot with you guys? I don't think it would be hospitable to them. But I guess, okay, so that makes sense. So all of your agriculture is in southern Idaho. So those are all going to be farm hands, right? That's all low, low, low wage workers for the farms, is what I would imagine is what they're doing there. But here's the problem, man. Those guys are never going back where they came from, and they're going to breed 10 to 15 kids per family. And I don't even think the Mormons can keep up with that, man. Even if the Mormons are allowed to have multiple wives and try to keep up, I don't think they're going to be able to do it. They're trying to breed. They're trying to breed the white out of the U.S. It's one of the number one goals of this administration. Wow, here's an interesting thing about Idaho. Potato country, yeah, hot potato. Potato Head Joe. Is Potato Head Joe, is he originally from Idaho? Is that why everybody calls him Potato Head? Um, Potato in Chief. The state constitution presently requires the state government to maintain a balanced budget. Isn't that interesting? I've never heard of that. The Idaho State Capitol in Boise, man, that's a beautiful building. Dome and column, gorgeous. Really pretty, man. I'm gonna have to pay a visit. I've never been. I've never been into Idaho that I can recall. I've been to nearly every state in the union now. I've been from Florida, from California to Florida. I've drove all the way across on the I-40, right? No, that's up through the middle. The I-20, the I-80. I-80 is the north, I-40 is the middle route, and I-20 is the low route, right? I've driven the two low routes, I-20 and I-40. And I've been up and on to the I-80 because I went up through Colorado into Wyoming, but I did not go to Idaho. I should have. That's Yellowstone National Park, right? Why don't I know that? Why have I never gone up there? Something has never, there's never been any pool. Because I've been up into Washington, I've been up into Oregon, I've been up into the Puget Sound, I've even been as far as the Canadian border, and I went across and went into that little area up there. What's that called? That little island peninsula there, right across the border. I even forgot the name of it. Vancouver. No, that's on the East Coast. The West Coast is, it's just called British Columbia, right? No, there's a name for that. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I've been, and then as far as like the East Coast, I've been all the way up into New York, Massachusetts, Boston, North Carolina, South Carolina, all down into Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Kansas, along the southern route. Sounds beautiful, man. I like that kind of area. Uh, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, all of that area, Alabama, Tuscaloosa. Been into Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I haven't been as far as Mobile, but I have been to the Gulf of Mexico, but it was on the Louisiana side. Um, Texas, the Panhandle, and the low part, right through the middle. Austin, Dallas, Corpus Christi, back on up this way, New Mexico. Colorado, Wyoming, Nevada, been into Death Valley, been to Las Vegas, California, Barstow, LA, San Diego, Sacramento, San Francisco, Oxnard, all the middle stuff, all Pacific Coast. I've driven Pacific Coast Highway from San Diego to Medford, and then Wizard Island. So I've been everywhere, but I've been into Michigan as well, and I've been into Illinois. But I haven't been into Vermont, New Hampshire, um, Pennsylvania, or any of the very, very top states there along the Canadian border on the east. And then I've been into Michigan all the way up to the Great Lakes, but I haven't been into Montana, Idaho, or the other one. What is that other one? Let me see. I'll check the map. Yeah, I've been all the way up that way. I've been all the way down this way, and then I went up there. Yeah, that's the only North and South Dakota, Montana, Minnesota, and Idaho. Those are the only areas I haven't been. So I'm gonna have to make a trip there at some point, man, for sure. It's funny, Americans are like that. I mean, being an American and growing up in Los Angeles, California, I like my dad told me, he said, never leave California, son. He said, this is the greatest place on earth. And this is coming from a Navy man, 20 plus years in the Navy, seeing the whole world, all of Europe. His battleship saw more combat than any other ship in U.S. history, U.S. Navy's history. Um, but yeah, I've seen. But I as soon as when he passed away, I'm like, fuck that. I want to go see the whole goddamn country. Yeah, they're the most untouched, huh? Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. I've been into Wyoming, but I've Idaho, Montana, and is that one? What's the one right next to it? Minnesota, right? North and South Dakota. Those are the only ones I haven't seen in that region. That's dead center though, and north pretty much. I mean, you're a little bit west there, but I'm looking at the map right now. I can see it all. But I've been up around the Great Lakes. I've been into Michigan and Illinois, and then down through all this other southern stuff. Tennessee seems so far south now, but it's not. It's the border between the south and the north. But then if you consider like Virginia is up here, it's north of it. Virginia wasn't considered to be the north, was it? Seems like that would still be considered in the North and South Carolina. I've been I've been from Los Angeles, Manhattan Beach on the West Coast, all the way to Myrtle Beach in the Carolinas. I've driven that straight through. Took me like 7 days or something, or I took 7 days to do it. And then I've driven from San Diego to Medford, and that took me about 3 days. And I've done it quite a few times, man. I'm not a big truck driver though. I just did it because I didn't want to. It's not that I didn't want to fly. It's that I wanted to see the entire United States. I wanted to drive through it. And my mom lives in the Tennessee Valley, Tennessee River Valley. And so when I'm going, yeah, I go staying at my brother's place or my sister's place in LA. And then I'm like, I want to go, go see mom for a while. And it's just a huge amount of land to drive over, but you can do it. Drive 8 hours a day, 8 to 10 hours a day, and you can do it in like 3 or 4 days. Three hotel stays. Drive from LA to Barstow, like somewhere Flagstaff or something, and then drive from there to I don't know, whatever's next. It doesn't have any of the city names on here. All right, man. I am out of energy. Nunu, it's good to see you, man. It's good to learn about your state. Thanks for tuning in. I got to roll off here to bed, man, because I'm about to drop, and it is midnight here. in Twilight Zone, Old Peking. Thanks for tuning in, man. Stay well. I'll see you guys in the morning. If you're back here in the morning, I plan on doing a literary review and talking about some of the literature I've been looking at recently and any of the literature you guys have been looking at. And then the other thing is we should do some research into lucid dreaming. As always, please hit the goose button on your way out the door, guys. Come back and leave a comment on some of the videos. I really appreciate that. Gives me an opportunity to interact with you guys a little more. And be well, right? As above, so below. As we wander into the abodes of the future, do